Bozeman High School's class of 2020 celebrates graduation 6 feet apart but together. I'm Gabby Crevitt and I'll have the story coming up.
Guides and outfitters in Montana say they're struggling to remarket themselves amid the pandemic. Coming up, find out how the industry is coping with a vastly reduced crowd of out-of-state business.
Coming up on 6:30 back here on Montana this morning, Caitlin Corbett, Chet Lehman, and Matt Elwell. Dare we say it? There is some snow out there to start our week.
You dare.
We do.
The rain's starting to fall.
Yeah,
we do.
That's right. Little shower activity moving in. I think we're mainly dealing with rain. All of it is beneficial at this point. We need some of this moisture. Sure. It's flowing back in. Basically, the low pressure is out near Helen, and it's swirling that cooler air back toward us. We are seeing some light snow in Butte right now, sitting at 33 degrees, 32 in West Yellowstone, 45 still at Bozeman Yellowstone International. Off and on showers for today. And dare Caitlin say it, yes, maybe a little snow, especially at pass level. We do have some winter weather advisories that are out for these higher elevations. Daytime temperatures into the 40s today. Jacket, raincoat, whatever you might need to get through the day. It is chilly. That was a loaded statement, right? All right, well, I'm going to stop now.
Whatever we need to get through the day.
That's right.
That's it. Matt said so. So there you go.
Oh, boy. 6:30 now. Some more refreshing news to top your half hour. Bozeman High School held its 120th annual commencement ceremony yesterday in a socially distanced sort of way.
MTN's Gabby Crevitt was there and has our story.
Just a few weeks ago, Bozeman Public School administrators weren't exactly sure what a graduation ceremony would look like for Bozeman High School's class of 2020. But the ceremony did take place today with a little bit of social distancing.
It feels great because we've been apart and away from our friends the whole time, and it's great to see everyone again.
Bozeman High School's class of 2020 got their official send-off on Sunday, and the graduation ceremony took place in person at Montana State University's Bobcat Stadium.
I know it's been difficult for the students, and so to see them come together and just see them smiling with each other, see their families smiling with them, it's just absolutely, I'm so fortunate, so grateful that we had the opportunity to gather here today.
Student and faculty speakers addressed the crowd, acknowledging challenges the COVID-19 pandemic has brought on students and recognizing the social unrest happening across the country.
It's a little creepy. Sometimes you worry about social distancing and if there's gonna be a spike after all of this. We were all so excited to see each other that it was a cool thing. I'm glad that it happened in person and there was a ceremony.
This day I'll probably remember most staying 6 feet apart. And how everything went. It was a unique graduation. Well, I'll always remember, I know that.
Principal Dan Mills says the class of 508 graduates is a unique group and says they're bound for success.
The world is theirs. I'm very confident that they will do whatever they need to do to have successful lives, and I'm very proud of them.
In Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
6:32 now. In other news, the Montana Science Center in Bozeman welcomed children back with the grand reopening of its STEM lab. Center had to shut down because of the pandemic, but it is now open again. Kids ages 10 and older can once again experience interactive learning about science, technology, engineering, art, math, and oh, so much more.
We previously were using the 3D printers to print face masks, but now they'll be using it as teaching tools. So they'll be doing 3D design, 3D printing, Minecraft, for educator purposes, and all kinds of the things we used to do before.
By the way, the lab is now accepting guests through online registration. Parents must drop their child off to help the center maintain smaller numbers of visitors.
Helena's Pureview Health Center hosted a drive-through COVID-19 testing over the weekend. MTN's Alexia Gaia went through that process to show us how it all worked.
Pureview Health Center transformed their parking lot into a drive-through system for COVID-19 tests. It is part of a new initiative set by Governor Bullock. It is free and paid for by the state of Montana.
The test is for people who do not have symptoms and do not have any known exposure to COVID-19. So we're really trying to rule out that we have COVID-19 in the community that we don't know about.
Upon arrival, you will need to sign a consent form and pass a pre-screening at Station 1. Station 2 is the actual test. Masks are not required throughout the process.
As you can see, folks with children or multiple people in the car can step off to the side here to test their young ones or take more time to do the test.
So
This is the swab. It just has to go into each nostril. I'll open it for you and have you grab the handle end, and then I'm going to have you put the furry end in about ½ an inch in one nostril, swirl around for about 10 seconds, switch sides, do it on the other nostril.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll take it from you. There you go.
Thank you very much.
So that end, the top end will go in.
All right. All right, and you guys probably do not want to see this.
Peer review says you will receive results after 5 to 7 days by a phone call. In all, peer review had enough to test 800 people on Saturday. In Helena, I'm Alexi Guayo, MTN News.
And Peer Review will be hosting another test in the same location between 8 a.m. and noon next Saturday.
Well, now that Montana has officially entered phase 2 of its coronavirus reopening plan, challenges remain for fishing guides in the state this summer. MTN's Isaiah Dunk has more.
Offices, visitor centers, and overnight camping were the first to go. Then last week, Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks canceled paddlefish season on the Yellowstone and Lower Missouri rivers and suspended spring turkey and black bear hunting for non-residents.
One of the things that has been really obvious this year is it's just hard to speculate kind of what's going to happen next with this COVID stuff, and so we've been really focusing on these 2-week windows in response to the governor's directives.
Despite all the closures, Greg says that FWP hasn't seen a significant impact on Montana's economy or its ecosystem.
There's obviously going to be some. One thing to note is that we are seeing, kind of a higher than normal use at our sites this time of year, particularly our fishing access sites. So just to keep in mind that might not be the right time and the right place to go, and to be very, very cautious about being socially distant.
As for spring turkey and black bear hunting season, overpopulation due to lack of hunting is not currently on Fish, Wildlife, and Parks' radar.
The thing with both turkey and bear is we have so much hunting opportunity in Montana that you can hunt turkey and bear in the fall as well. And so those licenses, there's a couple of exceptions, but for the vast majority of people that have those licenses, they can take advantage of them in the fall too.
In Great Falls, Matt Holzaffel, MTN News.
And of course, coronavirus is transmitted from person to person, usually after close contact with an infected patient. Since breastfeeding your baby can be a very close and intimate practice, there are questions if a child could become infected with COVID-19 through breast milk. MTN's Caitlin Boycell has the story.
According to the CDC, if you're breastfeeding and have symptoms of the virus or have COVID-19, there are steps you can take to prevent the spread of the virus to your child.
If she really doesn't feel comfortable breastfeeding her baby during that time, an option would be to have her express that or pump her milk and have somebody that's healthy feed that baby that breast milk.
And that's where milk banks come in. We spoke with Jessica Wellborn, who's the executive director for the Mother's Milk Bank of Montana. She explains how even before COVID-19, they had strict sanitation guidelines.
Before COVID-19, we have really strict procedures and policies in place. We pasteurize all of our milk in a lab here on site, and whenever milk is being pasteurized, the amount of sort of like disinfectant and wipe downs that is used, with every batch of milk that's pasteurized, is pretty strict. Anybody pasteurizing milk has to wear a lab coat, a face mask, gloves, some kind of eye protection or eye covering.
She also explains with the amount of time that it takes for COVID to show up, they have no way of knowing if breast milk can be infected.
There's no way to completely ensure, that COVID-19 never entered a milk bank, whether it was through an employee or through somebody's donor milk. That being said, because there's absolutely no evidence thus far to show that COVID-19 can pass through breast milk.
According to the CDC, they do not know whether mothers with COVID-19 can transmit the virus via breast milk. However, they do say to continue breastfeeding should be determined by the mothers in coordination with their healthcare providers. Health officers for Cascade County, Tricia Gardner, says breastfeeding your child is the best way to prevent diseases down the line.
So yeah, breastfeeding your child is going to be one of the best things that you can do to set up their immune system to be a healthy immune system. So we really do encourage new parents and moms to breastfeed their child whenever it's feasible.
Reporting in Great Falls, Caitlin Boycell, MTN News.
And the milk bank says since the COVID-19 outbreak, it has had more donations than normal.
Well, thousands of brave souls have ventured into the Rocky Mountains for the past decade, searching for treasure chests filled with gold, rubies, emeralds, and diamonds. That adventure has finally come to an end. The treasure has been found. Many of those who went looking for the treasure got into trouble, had to be rescued, several in Yellowstone National Park. In fact, just this past winter season, Yellowstone Park crews had to rescue a man who tried to rappel to the bottom of the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone. Park never said the man was looking for Fenn's treasure, but many on social media speculated that was the case. Fenn says the treasure chest filled with gold and jewels was found by a man a few days ago. Fenn declines to identify the man, only saying he is from back east. Clues leading to the treasures located were included in a 24-line poem published by Forrest Fenn in 2010 autobiography, The Thrill of the Chase. Fenn estimated that as many as 350,000 people from all over the world went hunting for that treasure. Unfortunately, a couple of them lost their lives doing that as well. So anyway, it's been found.
And if you find it, you can buy that spa in Sweden now.
And it wasn't me either.
Matt,
there you go.
if
That's
only
right.
you found it.
There you go.
6:40 now. We're going to be right back. Up next, the only drug proven to help fight COVID-19 is running out. When it'll be gone and what's being done about that is coming up. And here's what's coming up on CBS This Morning.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, protests honoring George Floyd's life continue around the world this weekend. See the dramatic moments as a family prepares to say its final goodbyes to him in Houston. Plus, we're in Minneapolis with the city council's push to defund and replace the police force. We'll speak with a panel of police chiefs from across the country, their views about the problems they see in the system and the need for change. We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.